All right, good afternoon. This is for my Honors Integrated 1 class. This is my third attempt. Hopefully my tripod stays put. First of all, I hope everyone is doing all right out there. Make sure that we're getting our assignments turned in. We're taking attendance. So I'm going to actually do another lesson on section 21.1. I had a few questions from you guys before I start. The homework was only for 21.2. No questions out of 21.1, just 21.2. And I want to go back though to 21.1 because it's actually an excellent opportunity for us to practice arguing corresponding parts, or practice using the argument of corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, so that I can show you that copying angle works. So this is a construction that we did, and we saw that it actually did work. And then this is also an opportunity to practice some two-column proofs, just so you can see the idea behind it. Remember, with a two-column proof, I'm going to make a statement, and then I have to justify it. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but up on the top it says that I'm given angle A, and I want to prove that I copied it using a construction. And so again, the structure of my argument is going to be that I'm going to build two identical triangles, and then I'm going to say that because I have identical triangles, then the parts that make up those triangles themselves must be the same. And we're going to see that the angle that was copied is in the same position of my new angle, and therefore we can conclude that we've actually created an identical angle. So let's go ahead and just start working through this. And again, I'll match the marks with the color on the statements and the reasons. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter version than what should be argued, but that's okay. Alright, so my first statement, remember, if we're going to make an argument, we always have to start off with what was given to us. And we're starting off with angle A. And the reason why I can say that I have that is, it's our starting point. It was given. Alright, nobody should ever miss the first statement and reason on the proof. Those are freebies, to say the least. So let's go ahead and move into the construction of this. So remember, circles make equal distances. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. So I'm going to make the exact same mark down here. Alright. So that was my first move. The next move I do when I copy a triangle, I'm going to do the construction first and then come back and reason through it. Well, actually, no, I don't need to do that. I'm sorry. So let's see here. So from point A to B and point X to Y, we can say that these are identical because they're made from the same size circle, right? So I can very quickly make the following claim. I can say that the length from A to B is going to be the same as the length from X to Y, and the reason why I can say that is these are radii of the same size circle. Okay. Now, remember, when we do constructions, we can also copy length. And so I'm going to find the length that I need to go from B to that point right there. We're going to call that point C. Okay, that was a terrible written C, but that's okay. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to copy that length. I'm going to call that point right here, I'm going to call that Z. Alright. So I can very quickly also say that the length from B to C is equal to the length from Y to Z. Those are not very well written, bothering me. Okay. Alright, and I'm gonna make the same claim. Radii are the same side circle. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to connect from X to Z. I'm going to connect that guy here. Now, I also know that the length from A to C is the same as the length from X to Z, because those, again, are radii of the same circle. So I can say the following. The length from, I'm going to go in order that's the same. So the length from C to A must also be the same length as Z to X. And again, the same reason, right? So notice here, and I should finish drawing this, I'm sorry. I'm going to connect one more dot here. Two more dots, sorry. I'm going to learn how to count. Okay. So you can actually, if you notice, I've made two triangles, and if I go through and mark what I know that the length of AB is the same as XY. I know that the length from BC is the same as YZ. I also know that the length from CA is the same as the length of ZX. Now, I could put 3 marks here, but I'm going to just put 1 mark because it's actually the same as this. And again, like I said, I'm making a little bit shorter version of the proof. I should, I don't know, I mean, you could probably argue that out, but it's not really that relevant. But anyways, we've actually created identical triangles by the idea of side, side, side. So I can now say the following. I can say the triangle I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. And the reason why I can say that is I've created the side, side, side triangle congruence. Right, so I've argued here that I have identical triangles, so that means that parts of these identical triangles must themselves also be congruent. And if we notice here, angle A is between the sides with a one congruent mark, as well as angle X. And so I can say that angle A is congruent to angle X. And that's because of corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And this actually is the end of the proof, because I wanted to argue that I could copy this angle, and I did copy the angle, and I know that I copied the angle because in the process of copying it, I created 2 identical triangles, and I knew that they're identical by the side, side, side congruence criteria. So again, I just wanted to show you guys another argument using corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, and I wanted to have a little bit more practice on 2-column proofs. So yeah, again, like I said, it's a little hard, and I'm hoping the ideas are coming through and they're making sense and they're clear to you. Again, I hope everyone is doing it right. I don't have any homework assignments for this section, so I'm sorry about that. But again, I hope that you do believe now that the act of us copying an angle actually does copy the angle. We can actually logically justify that we did. I hope that everyone's doing okay out there. Again, email me or send me a message on the Remind app if there's anything that I can help you with. And let's make sure that we take roll for today. Have a good day, everyone. I will post the next video for this class on Monday.